Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Thursday, October 22nd, 2015, around 5 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Mix and sun and clouds today, but we reached a 70-degree mark, which is good for this time of year, but tomorrow it's going to be a little cooler in the 50s. Next week, another cold snap, and 9 more days into daylight savings time ends. Some news to report. NBC Universal has announced that they're going to be shutting down the Universal Sports Network in November, and the sports that are on the Universal Sports Network will probably migrate to other networks on the NBC Universal cable networks like USA, MSNBC, CNBC, and probably NBCSN. And the Los Angeles Dodgers and have agreed to part ways with manager Don Mattingly after 5 years mutually. The Dodgers won 3 NL West titles, made it to 1 league championship series, but no World Series appearances or no World Series titles and stuff. And the Dodgers have a $300 million payroll and stuff. Kind of disappointed that Donnie Baseball didn't lead them to the World Championship, but eventually Donnie Baseball will be getting another managerial position. Maybe he'll wait until the Yankees job opens up. That's about it on the news. My second video blog of the day is my review of 1992's WCW Halloween Havoc from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at this Philadelphia Civic Center. This is the 4th annual WCW Halloween Havoc pay-per-view. The main event was Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal, with the franchise of WCW Sting versus Jake the Snake Roberts in a coal miners club match. Plus, there were other great matches on the card. There was one dark match that was just seen in the Philadelphia crowd. It was Eric Watts and Heavy Metal Van Hammer defeating Diamond Dallas Page, Feel the Pain, and Vinny Vegas, one of Kevin Nash's gimmicks in WCW. They were called the Vegas Connection and stuff, and Watts and Hammer won. But the fans hated Eric Watts. They booed him big time because at the time his father, Cowboy Bill Watts, was vice president of WCW. And here are the matches that happened on the pay-per-view, which was called by good old JR, Jim Ross, and Jesse the Body Ventura. The first match was a 6-man tag. It was the Z-Man, Tom Zink, Johnny Gunn, who's Tom Brandi, also Salvatore Sincere in the WWE, and Shane Douglas before he was a franchise, facing off against Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, and Michael P.S. Hayes. The Z-Man, Johnny Gunn, and Shane Douglas won this match about 11 minutes when Johnny Gunn gave Michael Hayes the best press after the Z-Man gave him the super kick. And the Z-Man, Johnny Gunn, and Shane Douglas were booed out of the building even though they were faces. And Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Michael P.S. Hayes were being cheered like crazy and they were the heels. Made no sense. The next match was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat facing off against Flying Brian Pillman, who just turned heel a couple of months earlier and stuff like that. This was a high-paced matchup. The ending had Flying Brian give the sunset flip on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but Steamboat reversed it to pin Flying Brian for the 1, 2, 3. Awesome match. The next match was for the United States Championship. It was originally going to be Ravishing Rick Rude, who was the U.S. champion at the time, facing off against Nikita Koloff, because Rude's manager at the time, Paulie Dangerously, had a contract that Rick Rude was going to wrestle had a U.S. title defense at Halloween Havoc. Rick Rude also was going to wrestle for the NWA World title against Masahiro Chono. And Cowboy Bill Watts said that Rick Rude had to defend the U.S. title against Nikita Koloff, or he would not wrestle Chono. But like Paulie Dangerously kind of had a substitute, and the substitute was the man they called Vader, and he was with Harley Race, and was also special stipulation, no disqualification, and Medusa was barred from ringside, and this match happened, and before the match, WCW senior official Ole Anderson barred Harley Race and Rick Rude from ringside, so Vader was the de facto U.S. champion, defending for Rick Rude against Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare. And this was a decent match and stuff. Ending had Nikita Koloff go for the Russian sickle, but he hit the ring post and stuff. That gave Vader the advantage. And then Vader gave him the Vader bomb, the power bomb for the 1, 2, 3. Vader wins, so he retains the U.S. Championship for ravishing Rick Rude. After the match, like, Medusa was celebrating with Harley Race and Paulie Dangerously, but Paulie Dangerously was mad at Medusa. He called Medusa a hooker, a slut, a hoe, and fired her from the Dangerous Alliance. And Medusa fought Paulie Dangerously, as beat him up on the interview stage and stuff. Pretty good. The next match was for the WCW and NWA World Tag Team Championship. It was Dr. Death Steve Williams and Stunner Eden Steve Austin facing off against Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes. Originally, it was going to be Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy, but Terry Gordy did not show up and stuff. But the real reason why he didn't show up, that the storyline, he missed something, but in reality, he had commitments to Japan. He just left WCW, so they had to use Stunning Steve Austin as his replacement. And this was a good match between facing off against Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes, who were the WCW and NWA World Tag Team Champions at this point. And this match was for both titles. And this was a great match. It was action-paced, back and forth, a 30-minute match. Actually, Dr. Death and Stunny Steve thought they won it with about a minute and a half left when Dr. Death pinned Barry Windham, but another referee said that Dustin Rhodes was the legal man in, so that the match had to get restarted, and it ended up with a 30-minute time limit draw. A great match, in my opinion. The next match was for the NWA World Championship. It was Ravishing Rick Rude with Medusa. Ravishing Rick Rude was also the U.S. champion at this point, but the U.S. championship was not on the line, and he was facing off against Masahiro Chono, who was the NWA World Champion, and they had senior official Ole Anderson. They had like 2 referees for this match. He flipped a coin to see who was going to be the referee. The 2 referees were Harley Race, the 7-time NWA World Champion, and Kansuke Sasaki. He was a Japanese wrestler. And Ole Anderson flipped the coin, and like Harley Race was the inside referee, and Kansuke Sasaki was the outside referee. And this was a good match, back and forth. Ending was a little bit of a screw job. Ravishing Rick Rude won it by disqualification over Chono and stuff. Afterwards, Sasaki attacked Harley Race, and he attacked Rick Rude as well. It was an awesome match, but a screwy finish and stuff. Rude won the match, but he didn't win the NWA World title because titles don't change hands in a disqualification and stuff. The next match was for the WCW World Championship. It was the Barbarian with Cactus Jack Bang Bang, one of many Mick Foley's personalities, facing off against the WCW World Champion, Ron Simmons, the All-American, and he had his former manager escort him to the ring, Teddy Long. Let me hear you, player! He didn't say that. And plus, a lot of security and stuff, and this was an awful title defense by Ron Simmons. Why is he defending his title against low mid-carder, the Barbarian, in a major pay-per-view and stuff? Ron Simmons' title reign for WCW in 1992 was awful. And This was about a 12-minute match. Ron Simmons wins by giving a power slam to the Barbarian and stuff, pinning him 1, 2, 3. Cactus Jack tried to interfere, but Ron Simmons stopped them and stuff. Awful title defense. And the main event was spin the wheel, make the deal. It was a coal miner's glove match. Coal miner's glove that is up on a pole, and first wrestler to get it could use it on his opponent and stuff. This was, a great match and stuff. And Cactus Jack tried to interfere. He gave him Jake the Snake Roberts' bag. He also gave the King Cobra and stuff. And the ending had like Sting attacked Jake Roberts, punch him, and then Jake Roberts' Cobra was biting him and stuff, but the Cobra was devenomized, and Sting pins him for the 1, 2, 3. Sting wins it, and this was the last match that Jake the Snake Roberts wrestled for WCW, because Jake the Snake and WCW had creative issues and stuff. Originally, when Jake the Snake signed with WCW in the summer of 1992, he was given $3 million per year and stuff, but when Bill Watts took over as vice president of wrestling operations, he ripped that contract up and they devalued it to maybe only about $500,000, and Jake the Snake did not like that and stuff backstage, and he was, they promised to be on the booking committee and other stuff, but WCW lied about that, and the Snake left soon afterwards. Jake the Snake Roberts and Sting could have had a long-running feud in WCW. And what did I think about Halloween Havoc 92? Very, very solid pay-per-view. I think up to this point, it probably was the best Halloween Havoc. I give it an A+. A lot of action-paced matches and stuff. It was, awesome, except that Ron Simmons versus Barbarian match. The rest of the matches were solid, in my humble opinion. That's about it on that. I'll be back with the third and final video blog of the night about former Major League Baseball player and manager Kirk Gibson. And tonight, around 7:10, I can't wait to have Facebook chats with the best Julie Broughton of News 6. And probably my name was going to be read again there, because Julie rocks. And Molly Rosenblatt rocks. She's from Fox 35 of Orlando. She's got nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning. And in the words of former co-worker at Hard Hanks Data Technology, Bruce Cronin, want to put a wager on that, Richie. See you later. Bye now.